Well, joining us now for more on this is Innocent Samosa, our Channels TV correspondent in Johannesburg. Hello, Innocent. Quite a mystery with this case. 3 police officers missing, now found dead in the river. What do we know about these officers and also the other 2 bodies that have been recovered?
Yeah, indeed. A very good evening to you, colleague. In this very much difficult time, it is heartbreaking development. The bodies of 3 police officers who went missing last week were found among 5 discovered in the Henops River in Centurion. This, of course, happened on Tuesday. Now, the National Police Commissioner, that is Fanny Masemola, confirmed that the news, of course, during the media briefing on Tuesday night. But we do know that the 3 officers were last seen on Thursday morning at a petrol station near the Grasmere Toll Plaza. This, of course, is in the N1 on the N1 in Gauteng province after leaving the station with a VW Polo. Now, as well as their cell phones, colleague, and tracking devices, all we do know, we're told that they went offline. A high-level investigation team had been working around the clock across Gauteng, the Free State, Limpopo. Every possible lead. Really, their focus was to stretch to the N1. That's where they last, had the connection from the Grasmere Toll Plaza. Going into the Baclua interchange to John Foster Drive and Centurion. But all of these things are happening in Johannesburg. Now, eventually, colleague, 5 bodies were recovered from the river. They were confirmed as the missing officers, unfortunately, and the other 2, including an administrative clerk from the Leightonton police station. So it's difficult times. In fact, the commissioner, Fanny Masemola, explained that the breakthrough came on Monday when teams from the South African Police Services, drone unit, the cybercrime, crime intelligence, the Hawks, Gauteng Traffic Air Wing, the Bidvest, also the Bidvest Protea Coin Air Wing, found what was believed to be parts of the officer's car near the Henops River. So devastating times. I think the families at this point in time, they want answers as to what happened. But we do know that the investigations are still continuing to find out what really happened to these officers. Colleague.
Indeed, it's quite baffling, that this has happened, and especially to police officers. But how are South Africans reacting to this?
Well, it's difficult times. In fact, on social media, it has been trending the whole day. In fact, even yesterday, this is the big talking point for many people. In fact, the Commissioner Masemola expressed his gratitude to both the families of the South African National Police Services team for their dedication in the search. Saying, quote unquote, he said that this isn't the ending we were hoping for. We wanted to bring them home, alive. But he says that we are finding ourselves with some painful closure to the families of the South African National Defence Force, close quote. But just before the past Sunday, of course, police had announced a 350,000 reward for any information that could help, locate the missing officers. Of course, the announcement was made in Bloemfontein by the Police General, that is Fanny Masemola. He was, of course, joined by the Free State Premier, that is, her name is Queen Latsola. And of course, the South African Police Services Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Detection, Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya. So, Yeah, going back to your question, it's difficult for many people, and I would imagine it's even difficult for family members who have lost these police officers, colleague.
Indeed, in a sense, and even as we wait for, investigations to conclude and to really know what happened, it brings again the crime rate in the country, this brings it to the fore. How is the government really helping its case in making the country safe?
Well, it goes without saying, colleague, that this has been a long-standing issue that the police in the country like they're not capacitated. We don't have enough. They don't have, workforce on the ground. So that's another issue. But on the other hand, with this issue, investigations are leading towards whether or not they are suspecting that this could be, police to police issue, whereby it's, colleagues that have found themselves, fighting amongst themselves. But the issue of crime is still a long-standing issue in the country. We do know that even the budget in Parliament that is allocated to the police to deal with crime is simply not enough. In fact, the opposition party in the country was saying that the money to fight crime in the country is not enough. They want to basically put more money into fighting crime. But I guess maybe from where I'm sitting, it's a wrong way to go about it, colleague, if you ask me, because the issue is that we find people who are not employed and they resort to crime. So therefore, the issues emanate from the economy that is not growing, that is stagnant, and is making people to resort into illicit activities. So therefore, the onus now, Layo, it's standing with the government to basically build the economy, get people working so that you have less of these petty crimes that we're seeing today. But this, again, it's difficult time considering again that we find law enforcement in the crossfire yet again. Lion?
Oh, all right then, Innocent. We await the conclusion of the investigation. Innocent Musa, our correspondent in Johannesburg. Thank you.
Thank you so much, colleague.